shack today.
Hang on, whoa! You can't start a pod like that. You went to the Doug Shack.
I went to the Doug Shack today.
What was the context? What was the kind of premise you went there on? What was it like?
So it's basically to help, because obviously Mike has been very generous in giving me a Haven family pass for the year. I agreed in return that I would go on and basically switch on his water. So I went to the Doug Shack today to switch on his water.
Have you flooded the place?
No, everything is fine. Though there was randomly a very tall Scouse man just ran out the door as soon as I opened it. Bizarrely, I couldn't catch him. He only had I saw some chains break loose, but other than that, he seemed fine.
Have you committed to anything else in return for this year-long pass? You haven't got to clean it out after the swingers weekends or anything.
Well, there was a lot of kind of deep cleaning apparatus there, but yeah, I am also staying in the Doug Shack in June as well. So having a little weekend.
Not in a swingers weekend.
Not in a swingers weekend.
Right.
No, I'm with the family.
Everybody, you can apparently look at the Northern Lights at the moment. So if you want to go out for 5 minutes, take a few photos, and come back, we'll just be talking shit. You put your camera out there, Bruce.
I can see the street lights.
Yes. Is it Roxanne?
No. There's no red lights. No, it's all quiet down our street, actually.
Well, yeah. You don't live on a very busy street, do you?
No.
Okay.
No, you just get dickheads go past that have been to McDonald's and they chuck the rubbish out. It pisses me right off. Chuck the big bag. The bags of they drive around the corner and they've eaten the Mackie, so they just think it's all right just to lob it out the window. Pricks.
Well, is this controversial now, Bruce?
I do apologise. That'll be my last swear word of the evening.
Did you hold up a protest? Me and Youngie are controversially opposed to the dereliction of the beautiful Freshney Valley because it is such a valley. I think there's a puddle somewhere along it that makes it a valley.
Right, we don't like you. It's all right, you down there pointing fingers up here and laughing at Youngie. I'm with Youngie on this one. It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace, is it? They should build the houses in the North Sea.
Build them down near you. That's what
they are.
No, more of them. Flood the south.
In what way, Bruce?
I'm not going to mention boats or anything like that. No.
NIMBYism on the podcast. This is our new kind of...
Sam. Just because it is on my doorstep doesn't make me a NIMBY.
Yeah, it's completely unrelated.
It is just unrelated.
Look, the people of Laceby Acres have had how long has Morrison's been built for? Young, should we say 1995? I'm going to say when it was built.
Yeah, probably about 30 years. Yeah,
and they've always had that little offshoot bit where they've put a really shit car boot sale.
Right, just stop now. I'm not having you slagging the area off. That is Grimsby and Cleethorpes premier car boot sale that you're talking about. All right. You might have bloody antique shops and shit like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
All right,
but that car boot and that plot of that square of area, if we lose that car boot, it will be absolutely tragic for the area's economy. So stop taking the mick with your bloody southern notes. Jesus.
Well done, Bruce. I apologise. I forgot that's where you sold all the laptops.
It's got nothing to do with that, honestly.
But see you all next week. There's got to be a better car boot than that. Surely everyone just
Oakland's. It used to be Oakland's, but Oakland's is shit now. Oakland's is gone.
Does not everyone just go to Hemswell?
Hannah, yeah. What about in the deepest Lincolnshire kind of area?
Yeah, Hemswell or Lincolnshire Showground. I'm in that direction, but Morrison's. It's always been Morrison's, hasn't it?
It was never there when I worked there.
They should build all the houses from Youngie's Freshney Valley on Lincolnshire Showgrounds. A massive plot of land there.
They don't use it, do they? Are me and Hannah the only rural Grimsby fans on this where everybody took the day off for the Lincolnshire show and everyone just fucked off to where are all the kids and their education? They've all gone and watched a load of sheep and bought a load of jam.
See the inner city Grimsby folk. We twagged off for the Radio 1 Roadshow. You had the Lincolnshire show. We had the Radio 1 Roadshow in town. I
had the best of both worlds. We
used to go to school, did you, Bruce?
We used to go to we used to have my parents used to take me once a year to the Lincolnshire show on one of the 2 days, but you'd tell school that you were going for both days. That was we used to go on the Thursday. I think Wednesday was like the proper day for like the proper people, and then Thursday was the tourist day back in the day. I don't know what I've been for years. But yeah, we used to get taken on the Thursday when Dad had done his business on the day before. But he used to have all these farming people, and you go to their stalls and they knew, you're going to buy a tractor off us. Here, let your lad have some biscuits and a can of Coke.
That was literally my childhood too.
Yeah, I can imagine actually. David, I don't know who Gail is. Who's Gail? And I don't know if Morrison's are on the verge of administration. The reason Morrison's are on the verge, I guess, is because they got rid of their little pretty market street that everybody liked, and that was it.
The Morrison's peaked when they started doing that weird misty thing with their vegetables and fruit and vegetables. You walked in.
I started working there. The first day was there, and it was like, "What is this?
What is this?" It was mystical. Like you walked in, and there was like a mist of spray went over the fruit and veg, and it was just you could have stared at it for hours. It lasted about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it got broke by some teenager. Yes, Bruce. Oh, Bruce, can I ask you as well? Can you remember?
No, I was pointing at you.
Oh, sorry. East Ravendale, which is, your home. Can you not remember Christmas World, which was around for like 10 years and then disappeared?
It was around for years and years. It was still there not that long ago.
Yeah, I went there. That was
that was a long way for you to go for a Christmas tree.
Didn't you go for a Christmas tree?
Vibrating on the M180.
Granny and Grandad used to take me a day out there when I was younger.
I've just got this picture of you on the M180 like Clark, with your dad like Clark Griswold, just vibrating down the M180 with the Christmas tree with the dog tied to the back of the car.
Joy to the world, big lights, great time.
National Lampoons, everybody's got to watch it.
That is visibly worryingly accurate, apart from the fact we didn't have a dog. But
I think we've worried everyone about Morrison's. David, you might need to come and explain your workings out here. Andrew Niles, with all the sympathy of American social media after another school shooting, hope Morrison's are okay. I get my booze from there. Thoughts and prayers.
Don't worry, Andrew. Alex didn't upset anybody for a few weeks. He was getting a bit twitchy. So
give Morrison's their due that salad bar is decent. Morrison's is closest to me, so I hope it's not. Gail's is a very expensive version of Greg's in this. Oh, I apologize. Okay, yes. We do have a Greg's. Both Farnham and Fleet have one. Sorry. And they do things like party rings, like Bruce is eating now.
I bought party rings because there's 5 of us tonight. It looks almost like Celebrity Squares, or well, to be fair with us, like it's more blankety blank, innit? But it's party rings for the occasion because there's 5 of us.
Oh yeah, I'm disappointed that Mike isn't here. It'd have made it so much more equal and look organised. You're not sharing,
close. We were so close to having it.
He would have been too good at my quiz. You lot have got a chance now.
I did think that.
Bruce has a quiz, everybody. Now, has everyone been out and seen the Northern Lights yet? Hannah, have you sent Hugh out?
We see them too much these days. It's not a novelty anymore.
Well, Mark Warren says it's more wankety wank.
So, Bruce, how was the Bags Ball reunion then?
Oh, good one.
It was a good evening. I had a headache yesterday morning when I first woke up. So I was on that. I don't like the lager at Docks, and I'm not an ale drinker, so I was on the mango cider, and that just for about 6 pints, it's all right. It just goes down so easily. It's like drinking fruit juice, and it tastes really sweet. But yeah, the do was it was good. It was good. We went to the Old Vic to it was a bit of a catch up. A couple of lads came back from the live away, and so we went to the Old Vic for a little while. And had like, right, we'll sit first, and we'll go somewhere where we can have a chat, because we won't be chatting once we get to docks. And no, it was good. It was good. I didn't see too many bags, but then they're probably friends these days. But no, they did a thing though, which was quite interesting. They did a how old are you? Actually, it was maybe somebody listened to the pod. So it's how old are you? Are you in your 20s? And there was a couple of shrieks went up. 30s, and it got a little bit louder. Passed through the 40s, and then in my bracket, which unfortunately, as you know, I moved into last year, in the 50s, it got quite loud. And actually, the loudest shout was in the 60s. So they stopped at, I think they stopped at 60s or 70s, because they didn't want anyone keeling over trying to shout too loud. But it was.
What did you say?
But one of the can you say that a bit louder? Yeah, no, I need that. I don't know why. I can't mock. My hearing's crap, especially when Claire and Maisie are talking to me. But no, it was good. The only downside was about the fourth song was something from about 2018 or something. And I was like, I thought it was going to be music from the Bags era. But yeah, it was a good night. It was like a skating ring upstairs in docks by the end of the night. You could do sort of, you needed some kids to do the old knee slides and
slide on.
Sorry?
Did they put a slip and slide out?
I don't know what they did, but it was quite slippery at the end, the old floor. And then there was some girl that was going round that was like jumping on people's backs, like piggy pag me. And she jumped on one of our lot. I managed to stay on my feet, but one of the lads went straight down on the floor, and the two of them just ended up in a heap in the middle of the dance floor. But yeah, no, it was a good night. I like them trying this sort of things. Went to the day drinking there a bit ago, and it was that was a good afternoon as well. So yes, well done to all at Docks.
Who'd have thought putting on a disco? Oh, do you know what? Well, Bruce, was the real? There's only one thing that's missing from a disco in Grimsby. Was Roadrunners there?
No.
What's the point?
But I did go to a 50th last night, upstairs at Abbey's, because downstairs is closed now, and it was the same DJ doing a little corner for about 50 people, and it was like I didn't even recognise him, and the girl whose birthday it was came over, or her husband, and he went, "Oh, just chatting to him. He was the DJ at Docks last night. Never even recognised him." So it was complete chalk and cheese for him over the weekend.
My friend Steve Ruslim, he was doing it. So there you go. Sad loss, Abby's. That's poor for the not great for the town. And that's gone.
It was £4.25 for a half a Coke. I'm not surprised you stopped that.
Right. Did you say it?
It was expensive. It was expensive for my soft drinks. I was driving last night. I'd have been, at least when you're drunk, you don't pay attention to what you're tapping on your card.
Well, you're not just getting a cab home.
No, I've been out the night before, mate. I didn't want to. You go through a lot of money on a night out these days, don't you? Anyway, enough about me. We must be. I can't see that. I can just see like blurry images of you all, but we must be on the 10-minute marker now, aren't we?
We are. Yes. Don't worry. Are you wanting to move on?
No, I've just talked.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around here. They're going crazy.
This antiquated main stand, I can feel it vibrating.
Say, they got a penalty here, there'll be fish flying about that. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! This is Vernon! Vernon scored! The supporters are invading the pitch because Grimsby Town have caused one of the biggest upsets in their history.
Love it.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DN35 podcast. The Mariners vanquished mighty Submariners Barrow by 5-0. we'll talk about that and other things. I just want to. I listened to the Barrow manager's interview before I came on here. I feel really sorry for him. He sounded so sad. It's just, what do you want me to do? I imagine the Tottenham manager is having exactly the same interview right now, but he just sounded like the world had gone to pot and he wasn't there anymore. Did anyone else get to hear it? Either of you can talk. Sam can talk.
If I was a Barrow fan listening to that, I'd be kind of booking my train tickets for Scunny next season, because the poor bloke sounded so desperately out of his depth. I thought it was sitting there going, I basically said, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix this. Almost explicitly. It was the bit when he was going on about, I need to do some self-reflection. Maybe that's it, and kept going back to that. And I've just thought, I've never actually even heard a Grimsby Town manager speak like that before, but if I did, and Barrow's season's not dead, by the way. They're only 2 points, I think it is, away from safety. Like one win, as you know how bad you have to be to get relegated out of this league. They looked every part of a side near the bottom of the division, didn't they? They bought all the trademarks. I'm sure we'll get into the game in a minute, and I won't go into that. But the outlook is bleak for them, it's fair to say.
I'll be honest, I feel like as a Town fan, I've seen that Barrow performance 1,000 times, where for the first sort of 45 minutes, first 40 minutes, we were all right. If I'm a Barrow fan, I'm saying we're keeping it tight. We're doing all right. We've created a couple of chances. Their keepers had to make a decent save. And then our argument would go, well, look, they've got Andy Cook up front. And then he just nods one away and then our heads go down. I thought they'd started pretty well. And I almost tweeted, because we scored, on the 17th minute, something like that. I was almost at 20 minutes going, now 20 minutes sort of kind of was looking a bit like Grimsby once again unable to really unlock a team that's going to defend deep and push on. But that's what you bring someone like Andy Cook in for. How did you all see it? Bruce, you were there. Hannah, we can talk to you as well in a minute. We need to bring in Pontoon Stewarding, which we'll all talk about because everyone's having that. But Bruce, what did you make of it from the Lower Smiths bar?
Yesterday, I've really made an effort this week, because last time we had 2 games to cover in one show. I'm not sure you'll remember. I couldn't even remember what day we played on, let alone anything about the game. So I've really tried hard to remember Tuesday's game this week. So when we come on to that, please let me speak quite early, or else I will forget. Yesterday, I didn't think actually we played as well, or it wasn't as pleasant to watch as Tuesday was. It was a strange game. Like Youngie said, I think, in our group and publicly, it was one of those ones that we don't have very often at Bundle Park, where you sat there after half time and you've gone 3-0 up and it's all sort of quite comfortable, and it was like that. It didn't feel like we'd really got out of second gear, or out of second gear probably. But we were clinical and we took our chances. I did have a look at the stats, and I think we scored 5 from only 7 shots on target or something. And I mean, 7 shots on target in a game is okay. But it was quite a high percentage yesterday, which we've been guilty in the past of not doing. But I thought our play, as we've talked about a lot since this new run of 2 defeats in 16 or 15, whatever it is now, it's not the football we were watching earlier in the season. It's not as fluid, but we have little patches and little pockets of play where we sort of come to life, and we did that a little bit yesterday. And then in between those pockets, we did the basics and we defended well, but it wasn't that impressive. It wasn't that attractive. But 5-0, great day. The atmosphere was much improved. And yeah, I mean, 6 points in a week is everything that we said we needed, and we've done it comfortably. And now thank God, we've got a break with a chance to hopefully get a few of the injured players back, because they were dropping like flies in the second half yesterday.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Bruce has said. It was almost, I wouldn't call it boring. Football's not boring, but it just felt, you could hear polite nattering in the crowd as opposed to the crowd actually being fixated on the game. And even at 2-0, it kind of felt like how are we 2-0 up? It's kind of been a bit just very calm. But I thought while he was on the pitch, Walker was excellent, and he did have that slight differentiation perhaps to the rest of the team in that he was exciting when he was on the ball. Absolutely gutted he went off, and hopefully, you know, we will see more of him. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it was an odd one. I do agree, Bruce. But isn't it good that we're in these situations where, you know, we're calmly winning 5-0. There's no crazy drama about it. Yeah, maybe Artel got yellow card, but you know, overall it was just a wonderful performance and great to see 5 goals.
Like Alex says, it's nice that we are not Barrow anymore, because I know exactly what you mean. That team that Neil Woods had at the end of the sort of 2009-10 season, we weren't horrendous. We didn't look awful to watch, but we just couldn't win enough games to get enough points to keep us up. And Barrow, in the first sort of 15 minutes, a bit like, you know, like you said, Alex, they offered more in the first 15 minutes than Fleetwood did as an attacking force really all game. They had no, you know, Fleetwood had nowhere to, but Barrow tried to play football, but they just weren't very good.
Sam, David Artel was pretty. He said it wasn't a criticism, but he said he can't call it a pitch; he calls it a field. He was quite. He was quite critical of the pitch. Do you think that affected the way we played? Astro Bot Fanboy said, "I thought we played better at their place when we drew 2-2 at the nadir of Pim's performances, if everyone can remember that." What did you make of it?
I certainly agree with that we played better for the first whatever it was at Barrow before the Pim disaster class. Artel's mentioned the pitch a lot recently. He moaned about it last week on these post-match interviews, saying we don't even train on decent pitches. So it's clearly something that's in his mind constantly. The pitch is much improved. I mean, I was the first time I'd been yesterday since the Wolves game, and it was like a carpet compared to that afternoon, where it was like something from like a throwback from the 70s. But it's still not great. The ball does not run true at all. It bobbles like. So if you're watching, like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to demonstrate a bouncing ball there on people who are just listening, and you can tell it has an impact on when players control it, and it's not conducive. And I think it's a big factor to what Bruce talks about there. With we're not playing the free-flowing, attacking, exciting style we were in the season, because you just can't do it on a surface like that. Natural at this time in the year, to be honest with you. But it's good to see that we're playing around it, isn't it? And with kind of a big lad up front. You've got Maldini, who's a bit more of a physical presence. Turi's found his feet. We have found a way round it more. But I do think going forward, I know the owners have talked about it before. If we're going to play this kind of progressive attacking style, I know it's been a particularly wet winter and wet autumn and wet early spring, but the pitch is going to need some serious renovation if we're actually progressing to football. That's a conversation for another day.
It's one of Mike's pet peeves, isn't it? He really wants to talk about the club getting a loan to get a or singing or dancing pitch, but it's I guess it's the upkeep of that.
It's his reserves league, isn't it?
It's an interesting one, because you'd have to then get those nice spangly lights that you see, and I'd imagine, as any drug dealer would tell you, they're quite expensive to keep on all day, all night. And there's a reason why the pigeons sit on their roof in winter rather than anybody else's. So it's more than $1 million, I'd imagine, ultimately when you get through it. But even Spurs' pitch looks a little bit, and Dundee's is getting a lot of shit this weekend. I don't know if anyone's seen that. That's had a real hammering as well. Youngie, you were coming off mic. What did you want to say?
Oh, well, I mean, firstly, there's plenty of people off the Freeman Street area that have great knowledge of horticulture, so we can get them in to kind of give us some advice on how we use them lamps correctly. That would be fantastic. But not much to add to more than everybody else has said, really. I'll talk a few of the individual performances yesterday. I thought KB looked a lot better out wide yesterday. I thought he struggled out there on Tuesday. And even though he grabbed the goal, I thought we were saying kind of around the people around us at the time, going, he don't look like a winger. But I thought he looked a lot, maybe because he was getting a lot more space down there yesterday. I mean, the second goal, the assist for the second goal kind of proved that. But I thought KB did a lot better playing down that side. Mike wants me to mention Dara Byrne. It was an excellent assist for the cut goal. And when he does that, I don't think there's many players better at him than doing that. The problem with Dara Byrne is he doesn't do it enough. But obviously he was told yesterday to kind of get the crossing quicker, and he did that, and he did that well, because he wasn't doing that on Tuesday night. Mike also did want to point out, and I think he made a really good point on this, that he's got a good partnership with Harvey Rodgers, and actually we are defensively very sound on that right hand side, and that is basically because Burns and Rodgers have got a good partnership together, played with together a lot, and kind of cover each other. So that is a fair point as well. But the person I really want to shout out is over 2 games is Amal Azur. He's made a real impact both games coming off the bench, and that 5th goal, not just the assist, but the part before that as well, where he wins the ball at the halfway line, runs at the lad, puts a lovely ball into Harvey Rodgers, then gets to a ball that he has absolutely no right to get to. Perfect pass for Kabia. Like, he is very I'm not sure we should be starting Amal Azur. Sometimes I look at him going, I'm not even sure that he knows what he's doing when he gets the ball, let alone us lot. But I think because he's such an unknown quantity when he comes off the bench, he's a really good option to have sometimes, where if you want just defenders to kind of get, you've had Burn, who, like with Burns, you pretty much know what you're getting. He isn't going to cross on the outside. He's going to try and cut in and cross that way. But so after kind of 70 odd minutes of that, when you bring Amal Azur on, who's completely different, who's kind of a bit of a kind of tricky player who, 1 minute can look world class and next minute can look, a bit like Serge Makofo. It's a different option to have. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of shout out old Justin, because I thought he's done very well in the 2 games he's come on.
He reminds me of Akpro. If you get what I mean, I'm sure you know what I mean by that. I can't really describe it any better than that. Maybe, I don't know, you'd mentioned not starting him. Is it worth if Chaz is going to be out for a bit, play Dara on the left and let him sort of whip across him that way and then play Justin on the right? I don't know, it's just a thought, depending on how long Chaz is going to be out for.
I did say, Sam, to people, I can't remember whether it was walking home the other night or whatever, after we'd struggled against Fleetwood, we never ever swapped the wingers over. And even for 5 minutes before half time, I don't know why we don't try that, just to mix it up a little bit. Then you go back in the dressing room and you've tried, you've done it or whatever. We just don't. I think we might have done it once in the last few weeks for a few minutes, but we generally don't do that. And I agree that Burns could then get to the byline on his left foot and he might deliver from the byline. And when Vernon plays, he's the other side, so he would go on the outside instead of coming in. I don't know why we don't try that. I agree with that. We try him on the other side, see what, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Well, it's interesting to see the options, and we should really talk about the injuries. Jamie Walker went off for what looks like an injury that's either going to be absolutely nothing or is going to plague the rest of his career, where he kind of just hit a Barrow player and then just kept feeling it. And it seems to be on his forearm rather than anywhere in particular. Someone was saying he hit his funny bone. Arto was saying that he's hit a nerve. But it was a really weird one, and I really hope that he's just going to be out for the week. Great news that the international break is going to affect us, so we've got a couple of days to, a week or so to be able to get these players back, and the rest of them can go and get pissed somewhere. But him going off, then Kieran Green felt something and went off too. So there's quite a few players out and about. Bruce, you look keen. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say the about which I mentioned in the group that somebody was David Artell said. We said before that we were chatting about that the players might have a couple of days off. He's actually given them 5 days off. They're not back until next Friday. I thought that was quite a long break, but like we said in the group, I think that's a real positive. It gives people a chance to rest up. We've had a lot of games Saturday, Tuesday for a few weeks, and now this break is perfect, like Sam said, for us to rest up, hopefully get a few fitting, then go firing into the end of the season and hopefully the playoffs.
Well, here you go. B Hill Links Comp says Walker was in the coachy last night, had a scan and was moving it. So that is the up-to-date information. You'll never hear that on Sky Sports News. Walker was in the coachy and he was moving it. So there you go.
That drinking arm was absolutely fine. No issue at all.
Because Walker would be, I know Hannah's a big fan of Walker. If you want to jump in here, but you say this is mad. And of the two players who went off yesterday, I'd want Walker back before McEachran, which would 6 months ago you'd say that was mad if you'd say that. But now we're just a better side with him in it. I'll let you jump on.
Oh, sorry. Did I say Green going off instead of George? Apologies. Yes, Hannah.
You did. Yeah, I mean, I'm a massive McEachran fan as well, but Jamie Walker has been, even though he's not started all the games, he's been my player of the season so far. Just the impact he makes, the passion he shows for the club. I mean, he's Kieran Green reincarnate, really. He's brilliant. And yeah, a huge loss. I think we've got better cover for McEachran than we do for Walker. So that's possibly why you're thinking that, Sam?
Yeah, one way of thinking of it. But also, frankly, I just think Walker's, he's got that, like Vernon's got it as well. That sort of, how do you describe it? He's got that bit better quality that plays at this level. You can see he's played at a higher level and he can do things that are just, he can do things that other players can't even see. And that's why he'll be massive going into the last few games of the season.
I just while we're talking about players, I was just thinking while Youngie was praising giving out his praise for yesterday, I think the defence that we've got at the moment, I can't remember us having a better all-round defence in the last 10 years, maybe more. Jackson Smith has been an immense signing. We all, obviously, everybody would like to see us sign him. I don't know whether that's going to be possible, but we shall see. But I think Rodgers, I'm sure he must have proved all the doubters wrong now. He's just like David Artell says, he's a jack in the box. He sometimes injects the movement and pace into I thought on Tuesday when we were struggling, he was the one that was, before Amaluzor came on, he was the one that was doing that. And yesterday he's up and down. And Maldini looks like he's been playing for 10 years, not 10 appearances. I mean, the bloke, I don't think he's lost a header since he's come into the team. McJanet looks back to the best. I would disagree with Hannah, but it's all about opinions. I think Cam McJanet is just outstanding. Apart from two or three games which coincided with Pim's drop off in form. I think he leads from the back. I think he leads the team. And
Gary Croft said he was his player of the season so far.
I just think he's
disagreeing about, Bruce, because I love McJanet.
No, but you just said Walker was your player of the season. That's what I meant. I disagree. That's what I disagree with.
You call him a cunt.
Yeah,
that was what it was.
Into that as well. I thought you'd laid into McJanet and I've missed it.
No, I think
Dawson Biles
and Staunton. I mean, we've got great options at left back, but Staunton's delivery and he looks like he's settled. I think he's settled maybe as first choice left back nearly. And then in front of them you've got Tory, who just doesn't give the ball away. I just think he does it easy most of the time, and he's just, when the ball's up in the air like ping pong, he's trying to get it down on the deck and play football. And I just think.
Do you know who he reminds me of, Bruce? A prettier Stacey Caldicott.
I think he's got a bit more on the ball than Stacey Caldicott. Stacey Caldicott was a great player. I think he's a bit Wayne Burnett.
Big shout.
I think he's that sort of. He wants to get the ball. Wayne Burnett used to, try and get the ball on the deck, and Grovey was a bit more box to box and that sort of thing, alongside him. But I just think he's that footballer. He's classy. He looks classy in the division that he's playing in, and he just. It'll be when the ball's at 100 miles an hour pinging, and we get quite a good view in the lower. It'll be pinging about 100 miles an hour, and all of a sudden a little side foot will come from nowhere, and he'll prod it out wide to Staunton or whoever's playing in front of Staunton down the left hand side. He just wants to get the ball on the deck, and he does it easy. And those six players, I think, are giving us the foundations to go and do the things that we're doing further up the pitch. And I just think that as a defensive unit, we look really, really solid at the moment, generally.
Do you not think that's a kind of, what's the word, endorsement of Artell's coaching? That Staunton, let's face it, when he came in, I was very, very critical of Staunton. I described him as a non-league player and other such things.
Doesn't sound like you, Sam.
Thought he was a liability, and I thought the performance at Barnet was a complete disaster.
Yeah,
but, fair.
You might like some town player at some point in the future. It'd be really good.
Michio Fete.
He's not a town player.
I liked him in the past. But anyway, he's now being picked ahead of Sweeney, who before Christmas you could have made a case that Sweeney was our player of the season. And now it's probably a three-way battle between Rodgers, McJanet and Greene. And Staunton's being picked ahead of him. It's just a kind of sort of a self-check motif, if you like, that I shouldn't judge non-league players who've come from non-league before they've had a chance to establish themselves.
It's worth noting, though, with the loss of Vernon, we need Staunton on the set pieces, which, not to discredit his performances, which have been good, but, you know, he adds that extra element as well.
Is he our Jordan Cropper for the year? Is that what we're going with? Andrew Matthews wants to know if we'll ever see JDS play for Town again. Saw he was on the bench last week, wasn't this week, given that, you know, Vernon isn't there. Youngie's ready and keen.
Yeah, something's not right, is it? I think, you know, to bring him onto the bench for 1 week and then suddenly he's gone again. And Artell kind of gave this cryptic, that's part of the process. It's part of the process to have him sitting on the bench and doing a few runs up the line and then not being back for 2 games. Something just doesn't seem right with JDS. Look, I really hope to God that we see him again. And what a story it would be if suddenly by the playoff campaign we have a fit and ready Svan Thornton who puts it in for the final part of the season and helps us get over the line. But the more that time is going on, the more you're thinking to yourself, something isn't right here, is it? And his contract is up at the end of the season. I know Mike says, well, the club have spent a lot of money relocating him and things like that. But if there is a long-term injury issue there, then surely the club might be thinking twice to renew his deal.
Yeah, it sounds like Cleethorpes Town 2-year deal sort of thing, doesn't it?
The thing about Svan Jorsen is...
Oh, him and Max Wright, either wing.
Oh, don't.
That's the most fragile wing the world has ever seen.
Just put Donovan Wilson in the middle, and you've got the most injury-prone from middle.
That's Sean Scannell's music.
But think about the injury proneness thing. I'll get nailed for saying this, but having already signed up Chaz, who, let's face it, has had injury problems in the past and is currently injured, and Jace has spent most of this season injured. Is it too much of a risk to have both of them on the books going into next season? I'm not saying that's what the club are doing. I'm just kind of saying that it's worth that's worth bearing in mind, isn't it? And I'd also imagine they're both pretty high earners, especially with Burns and KB now looks like a wing option, and soon Sup as well. He might be a wing option signed up.
Burnham has played
season.
42 games this season, Sam.
Yes, but it's his first season injury-free season for bloody. Artell said a few weeks ago it's his best season ever. In
42 games, and you're already going, what do we need to do with him? Do we need to?
It's not just.
I'm picturing Box of the Horse now, and you're sending him to the glue factory in night.
We've got Burns signed up for next season, and I'm delighted, and he'll be able to hack it in League One when we go up. But with given his injury record prior to this season, can you then take a risk going forward? With Jace as well, maybe you can. I think there's a question to be. It's worth bearing that in mind.
We can't take too many passengers with us, Sam, can we? We can't. We have a decent budget, but we're not top budget. And I get where you're coming from. It would depend what the injury. I guess it depends what the injury is to particularly Svan Thorsen. Like you say, Vernon's already been signed up, hasn't he? So it depends whether this is a one-off or a recurring thing. I mean, it is baffling. Like Youngie says, it's really strange. I mean, we've not really had a lot of information about it. There was a planned operation last summer, wasn't there? Then he came back. I think I looked the other week, didn't I? He came back from end of September to beginning of November, and then we haven't seen him since November, December, January, February, March. We're nearly 5 months in since we last really saw him. Something's not right. That's not planned progression, or the fact that he played on AstroTurf in the wrong boots for 4 years, or he can't get fit for the summer season because he's used to being fit in the. something's not quite right.
But we won 5-0. We're in the playoffs. We're going into an international break for the first time since the 90s, which is lovely. We're doing pretty well. What do we want to talk about next? Do we want to have a mention of Danny Rose for a moment? Nice to see him back in the building.
Yeah.
Nice to see him back. He got a good reception from the town fans. He was very respectful. My only negative was I think they had a corner and the town fans started chanting his name, but I was like, why are you doing it at this point? He's about to score potentially. That's my only negative. But other than that, it was lovely to see him back.
Do you think we'd worked it out though that if you kill him with kindness, he has no retort to that, and that's why he didn't get anywhere near sniff of a goal.
Maisie and I were a little bit late arriving yesterday, and we were halfway down the lower, just walking in when his name was announced, and he got that really good ovation at the start. And I was chatting to a few of the lads on the front row that I know, and we said, they'd sung the Danny Rose, and when it finished, we just all sort of said to each other, right, now we can F off. He's had his adulation, he's had his applause, now he's the enemy now.
He'll never be the enemy. He's a beautiful looking lad, and he's welcome back anytime, especially to teach all of our team the darker arts. And we're glad that no one really. I was slightly worried about Kasori yesterday. Actually, Bill Hill comes in and says he didn't like Kasori at all, giving him it back. I was worried that if there's anyone that looks a little bit of a red flag to a ball with that, it might have been Maldini.
We said before the game, I hope Maldini's been taken aside and gone, right, this is what this lad is going to try with you. So you need to just be aware of it. And I thought there is going to be one day, I'm pretty sure, that Maldini is going to lose it big style and end up in some kind of 10 game ban and a 50 person brawl occurring. And Rose could have been that man that brought him out of it. But fair play. The one thing I will say is that, bless Danny, he does look off the pace now. I think you could see that he's just that little bit of pace over a kind of 10-yard run kind of thing just wasn't quite there. He played a nice pass earlier on in the game. I think they had a chance early on, but yeah, look, he got a nice ovation and that was lovely. I'm not sure, but somebody mentioned there about the substitution. I think if we were 3-0 down at that point, he might not have got as good as reception as he did then. But I think it's a bit more when you're 3-0 up to kind of stand up and go, yeah, well done, Danny lad, you're a good one.
You're like how Pep Guardiola always really praises the teams that have just been dicked 10-0 by.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
So good.
He was our Nathan Redmond, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, lovely. We all love Danny Rose, don't we? And fair play, I'm not sure we'll ever see him again though, because if Barrow get relegated, he might be a non-league player for the rest of his career.
You could see him going to Scunny though. If Scunny get up or that sort of thing, if he's quite local, you could see that sort of thing. Is he Sheffield way? Sheffield Barnsley way, something like that?
Barnsley.
He'll be, Yogi's got a point. He's going for a poop. I'll wait for him to come back actually because I want to talk about Stewarding stuff. Does anyone want to have a quick chat about Fleetwood and then we'll go back on atmosphere, Iceland fans, Stewarding, and all that sort of stuff?
Fleetwood was a funny old game.
Yeah, it really was. So much so that I forgot we have to talk about it. I
think that the Fleetwood game, I'm not going to go into too much in depth with it now because we've obviously talked about a more recent game now. But that late equaliser, I was hacked off on 90 minutes on Tuesday. We've got to be beating teams like this was the consensus. And we played for the first half. It was exceptional. How we weren't in front by 2 or 3 goals, I'll never know. We just didn't take our chances, and I think the keeper made a couple of saves. And but that goal at the end of that Fleetwood game, I think, has saved our season. I think that we would have all gone into meltdown if we'd not. After the defeat at Oldham, we said, right, we've got to get 6 points from these 2 games. If we'd have only picked up a point against that Fleetwood team, because they were awful, how they're in mid-table, I do not know. And like Youngie said, Amalou Zor came on, and I thought he changed the game. And for once, we were on the right end, because I thought that nobody really made a lot of it, but I thought the officials did really well to see the goal. Now, whether it was a bit of the reaction of the Town players because they all went up, but it was literally only a fraction of clearly over the line. It wasn't that far. It was a good spot by them. And I just think Jace Cabier's knee, or whatever it went in off, that might have saved our season and set us off on another little, surge further into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And fixtures coming up don't look too terrible. You've got Harrogate, Crawley, and Crewe's come up. Crewe, one that we really need to have a look at. But out of those three teams, and the last 6 games have all played combined, only 4 wins in that lot. If anyone could do 3 times 6 for me, that'd be brilliant. And then so 3 wins out of the 4 wins out of 18. It's not 2 teams that are necessarily really firing on all cylinders, really. So interesting to see whether or not we can continue this run of form against the poorer teams, which has been our weakness. Anybody want to add anything else on that snapshot TikTok review of Crewe? I'm sorry, of whoever we played, Fleetwood, team in red, shite, Northwest.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Bruce said, I mean, goals like that are season-changing goals, aren't they? When there's a difference between a good goal and an important goal, and that comes under the important goal category. But yeah, I mean, look at the results yesterday. It seemed there's definitely a pattern going on with the playoff race, and it seems it's that final 7th place that suddenly there's about 4 or 5 teams that are close enough to kind of get in there, isn't there? So we just got to keep, we're the ones in front, and unlike last season, we have a very, very good goal difference. I think that the Grimsby Insight, so we had -3 at this time. We sat in the same position this time last season, but we had -3 goal difference. This time we're on +15 now, +16. So that it's a huge advantage to have over all the other teams. So it's almost, it is like having an extra point. So you just got to kind of keep matching results now as best as you can. Teams are going to fall, slow every week. A team will probably fall by the wayside, and hopefully by the time we get to them last few games of the season, we'll be there.
1.6 points per game at the moment. 1.6. It would leave us with 75 points, and that would be usually enough to get into the playoffs. Bruce.
Sorry, I've spoken a lot, but just very quickly, that's now 10 games at home unbeaten, and I've moaned about our home form for a long, long time, and that 10-game unbeaten run has really crept up on me, and yeah, I just thought we should mention that Blundell Park is becoming a bit of a fortress. It's not always noisy, but it is becoming a fortress.
What a link. Bruce, this is why you're a professional. So let's talk about it. Once again, David Artell was mentioning the crowd, mentioning it not being so tough to come here, mentioning the atmosphere. I would say Blundell Park, once again, for the 9th time this season, over 7,000. The last time we were in the Championship, we only had 4 games over 7,000 there. And it was a wonderful tweet, and I apologise, I don't know who said it, showed the away followings for the last 7 games came to a grand total of 762. So 7,000 fans turning up, 700 odd over 7 games suggests we've got nobody really to riff off. And then let's talk about the problem in the room. If you want to create an atmosphere, you've got to have a fun and lenient idea. And it looks like the stewards at Blundell Park are going over the top, and they are doing their very best to make sure Grimsby Town don't go up and creating a negative atmosphere. Everybody, have you got thoughts on it? Hannah, we've got people from all around the ground. We've got lower, we've got upper, we've got main, we've got pontoon. The only ones that weren't are the Osmond stand. Hannah, I'll come to you first because you were the first person to pick up on some stuff yesterday around the pony.
Yeah, so I think there's different issues around the ground. I don't think it's all the same issue. And I'm going to try and be balanced on this. But basically, in the pontoon yesterday, do you know at the back of the pontoon, there's like gaps where people stand? So there's some seats, then there's a gap, then there's some more seats and a gap all the way along the back. Normally, loads of young lads go up there, no issues. They're very friendly. They stand, they sing, they have fun. Sometimes they kick people in the back of the heads while they're climbing round, and that has caused problems. I've heard that being raised before. But on the whole, you know, they're very polite, and they do try and get the crowd going. Yesterday, all those gaps were stewarded, one steward on each end of the gap. When I asked them why, they just said, new directive, no one can stand up here anymore. I seem to remember from my days on the trust that those gaps are there for safety reasons. So potentially it's that, or potentially someone's moaned that people are standing there. I don't know the reason. I just think it's a bit odd that after so many years of it not being patrolled, why now? So that's one issue in the pontoon. And then the other issue is over towards the side where everyone stands and sings and the drum. I think they're having major problems with stewards trying to get them to sit down, dragging people out. I'm not in that section to know, but I think they are having quite big issues with stewards at the moment as well.
It doesn't sound great. And then Youngie, the upper is coming to people's rescue at the moment. Blundell Park is nothing more than a library, which is ironic considering Grimsby Council want to try and get rid of anything that is useful in the town, whether it be a bridge or a library. How is it up in the upper with you gallant men and women standing there to try and create an atmosphere which just disappears off into the North Sea?
Well, yeah. Well, firstly, I have to say, like, we'll talk about our Icelandic friends in a moment, who were amazing. But also, I want to big up my Osmond and Finder's brethren, who are genuinely trying to get an atmosphere every week. And there was a really good atmosphere again in there yesterday. But that also leads me to the point with the steward. So after the first goal was scored, the kind of our section went up. And kind of about half the section stood up, and this is literally probably a minute after the goal, stood up and started singing. Now, that would never, you know, common sense will tell you that might happen for a minute or two. It was just it's that rush of blood, everyone's excited, a few have stood up, and literally from the first 10 seconds of standing up, the stewards are running over, going, sit down, sit down, sit down. So I'm not proud of myself here, but I kind of said I had a little discussion with Mr. Steward, and I was like, mate, what are you playing at? And he was like, oh, well, people have paid for their tickets, and people have stood up in front of them. And I went, if you literally left it about 30 seconds, everyone would be sat down again. And you wouldn't have this bad feeling. So it's just like no common sense to the stewarding at all. Now, whether or not they might be getting it in their earpieces and they need to go up there and sort it, I don't know. But for the sake of stopping yourself having an argument with a bunch of supporters and getting supporters on your back, and then avoiding having to have conversations like this on podcasts, just for the sake of a bit of common sense, and go, give it a minute, give it a minute or two. And if it's still like this, then yeah, maybe we've got to start telling people to sit down. But whilst there's an atmosphere going, and whilst there's actually people singing and there's a bit of noise, let's get it up a little bit. No one cares. Nobody was complaining. It was just, yeah, typical, just over stewarding. Poor.
Or oh, do you say poor or? I thought there was a continuation.
Poor, sorry.
And it's a shame because David Artell continues to make a point about the pitch is shit, the ground is quiet, nobody's doing anything. It makes it harder the next time around for someone to feel comfortable standing up. And I know I see a couple of people Inside Out 227 keep coming back going, ultimately it's an all-seater stadium. We need to have safe standing, but the club don't want to expense it. I agree. I think we need to have safe standing. We've all talked about this. I think the pontoon, everybody needs ripping out. I think we need to remove all the no reserve seating. No one under the age of 6 should be in the pontoon. It should be a place where you make a racket, stand up, and if you don't like it, as Rob Scott would say, don't come. Unfortunately, it seems to be more of a family stand nowadays, and that seems to be everywhere. So where do you want the atmosphere to be? And it's up to the leaders at the club to make that decision and how they're going to police it. There is a point of safety, but it can be done far more sensible. And we've all travelled to many grounds where the away stewarding has been absolutely fine. Keep it offhand and take out any troublemakers you may have. But ultimately, if you want an atmosphere, stop trying to stop it. Bruce, yes.
We don't have a lot of in the lower. We don't have a lot of steward interaction really.
You got rid of the
I mean,
students a long
they
time ago, didn't you?
they stand in the constitutional corner, and they do get a bit excited if Town score. They all come sort of sprinting on or going as fast as they can, sort of into the corner in front, like something's going to happen. But apart from that, there is quite a lot of standing in the lower. And I've never seen them come in the stand and say anything to anybody, so it's inconsistent as well. You know, around me, we're on the second to back row, and yesterday the people in front of me were stood up, so I just stood up. I mean, I get that there'll be some people in the ground who can't just stand up, but I just turned around to the guy behind me who had remained sat down on a row of probably 8 people everybody else was standing up. And I just said, "Oh, can you see all right?" We had a corner or something. And I said, "Can you see all right, mate?" "Yeah." He said, "You're fine, mate. I can just look right here around you." "Nice one. All right, I'll stay where I am."
Took him ages.
Yeah.
Got a sore neck.
I'm not gonna lower myself to your levels, Green.
Oh, fine, fair enough, Bruce. Okay, you're a better man than I.
But yeah. So, but there's a lot of standing in the lower, especially back three or four rows, and I've never heard anyone really complain about it. But like I say, I've never seen a steward in the stand. They used to stand in the gaps in the seats, you know, like down the lower. There's probably 4 or 5 stairwells. They used to stand right at the back. But I've sometimes, if it's been a cold night or something, I've just gone and sort of leant at the back against the wall and sort of stood there, because you're a lot warmer standing up than you are sitting down when it's cold. I mean, it was -4 yesterday. It was boiling everywhere else in the ground. But yeah, no, we don't have a lot of problems in the lower. So yeah, consistency as well.
Tony Parker says we got the same in the upper from the stewards. Got an email from the safety lead who said, "As the ground is all seated, we should remain in our seats as it's a safety issue. The attitude is absolutely shite." It is, you know. What are we meant to do? Are we just sort of, you know, sit down and applaud? Are we going to get We're going to get those little clappers back out so people can do that instead?
Banners all when we'll be back to 3,000 then.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the thing that I think all the incredible things the club are doing, this is the thing they are getting so wrong so much. They haven't really put in an effort to try and improve the atmosphere by creating a new area, which we've now got with the Osmond, where they can do it. Sam, what was it like in the main stand? Did Bloody Rubbish Town get kicked out or not?
No, but there was a half decent main stand. There was singing for about 15 seconds at one stage in the main stand yesterday. But anyway, the main stand is where the people who you moan about in the pontoon should come and sit in the main stand. Who just want to sit down and have a natter and not really get involved in the atmosphere. Just going back to the point of Youngie, the old people need to sit down. People have paid for a ticket. That's bollocks. The premise of that is bollocks. So you've gone to a football match, right? Okay. And if you can't understand that you're going to you might have to stand up to watch it. Like, I get the idea a lot, but I hear the point that Bruce says about kind of like people not being able to stand up on whim. I understand that. But the vast majority of people can. You need to kind of have some kind of understanding for that. I mean, and I dare say I'm not going to go with the stewards there. They'll have been told to do that by somebody else. I feel like having to go at someone on the customer service line then when it's not their fault. But I really have an issue with the kind of the club put out tweets, back the lads, come on, let's make it noise, let's make it hostile, let's make it all these things you see from them. And on the other hand, you hear about this kind of overly aggressive stewarding. That is now we've heard on this podcast and in the comments from different parts of the ground. It's just a kind of it needs to be addressed. Well, pick a side basically.
Well, look, I'm a man who frequents the theatre at times, and I don't see people getting dragged out during Mamma Mia when they're all singing the latest ABBA track because they're stood up and the person behind them has paid 185 quid for a ticket. It's absolute shite. And Mamma Mia is well worth going to watch at the Novella.
Let's use this opportunity though to big up our brethren from Iceland.
Yes.
Who they came for their once a season jaunt. The last time they came here, I think we got absolutely spanked by Donny. I believe. So they were due one. They were due a big result, weren't they? They were, yeah, absolutely tremendous, and an absolute cracking set of lads as well. We saw them in the fan zone, and they were literally paying people in the queue to get in front of them. Because they've come to England paying £5 a pint. They think it's the greatest thing they've ever heard. They've been used to paying 10, 11 quid at home.
People in the queue to get in front of them.
Yeah, to get in front of them. Yeah, they were paying people in the queue to get in front of them. But then when they were getting to the bar, they were ordering like 20 pints at a time. They were sinking them lads were. And then we saw him in Enemies afterwards as well for Sam Simmons. And yeah, absolutely cracking set of lads. They said if we make the playoff final, they're going to come over for it. So fingers crossed.
Didn't they come to? They came to Bromley last season as well, didn't they? Was a fair few at Bromley last year away?
Possibly, I can't remember.
I remember meeting a couple. They were all going to the darts afterwards, and they'd never done it before.
The House lads come over a bit as well, don't they?
They do. I mean, if we can work out how to crowdfund the Iceland guys, the House guys to come over, that would sort out the atmosphere in Blundell Park, wouldn't it? It's because the stewards would get a flare up their ass, I guess. But it was brilliant to see. And the Viking clap sounded very good, even though those who were in the Cod Wars would be spinning in their graves, I assume.
A mutual friend of mine and Bruce's mentioned that to me. He came running down and go, don't know why we're clapping them. They stole all our fucking fish.
200-mile exclusion zone around Blundell Park now. I can't have a pint. Anyway, Sam's fault. It was it sounded a lot of fun. We are an hour in. Does anybody have anything else to say? Bruce, have we fucked up your quiz?
No, Youngie was going to do his at the halfway point. I don't know whether he's doing it now or whether he's just whether it's postponed for another week. I don't know, but we've this is quite weird, isn't it? Claire said, I'm like, there's no town game next weekend. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? They're not playing. So yeah, we've all got to find something to do next weekend, haven't we?
I'm off to York, Bruce. I'm off on a night out with some of my old colleagues. I've managed to find a way to fill the time.
Yeah, are we having a holiday next week then? Are we like the squad? Are we taking a break?
It will just be me here on my own, just reciting. I'll go through the most popular threads on the fishy and just read them out for an hour and a half.
Or Michael do a tactical review of the season for us.
That. What I'll be doing, Young, is that one where everyone's trying to count to 1 million.
Yeah, shout. Okay. It's just
Mikey
brace yourselves in.
Yeah, Mikey 2345 said 11. Green 27 said 12.
I tell you what, if you challenged Mike to do a full PowerPoint presentation of his tactical assessment of the season, I bet he'd do it. I bet
Russell McMahon.
And at the end of it, it's just one slide with Alex going, this week we will play 4-4-2.
I thought my pod ice cream thread was a little bit underplayed this week. I thought it was quite good. I could just see I could see Sam as an ice cream man. I could see Alex as the angry ice cream man. Maybe we should do that next weekend. We should all go and work for Harrison's for the weekend doing ice cream.
I'd be the first person in an ice cream van trying to hit the kids as they're trying to run towards it.
Did you watch the links that I sent you where we pours the ice cream all over the woman?
Yes, I didn't like being compared to Peter Kay, Bruce. This is
too working class for you, Sam.
No, he's funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Very good.
Can we have an RTL special next week with him as the man himself? Stephen, I think he's probably on holiday somewhere in Estonia or somewhere. Or where was it? Where is it? Slovenia is the room.
He's decorating his daughter's bedroom, isn't he?
What? It was set up here. Hang on. Someone put it in here as well.
No, don't go to the chat. We can't mention it.
Okay. So we're all going to Slovakia. We're going to Slovakia. That's the rumour.
Some of us doesn't want his Wizz Air flights affected.
Oh, is that the reason why?
No,
I'm just trying to get there before
before
the prices increase.
You went on Sky Scanner as well yesterday, did you, Youngie? I did that as well.
I make no comment.
Lublin or death? Have we got one from Youngie? Is there a way of getting from Humberside to Slovakia/Slovenia?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You just go via Amsterdam, absolutely, on the old
Get
KLM.
away from Stansted.
But I tell you what, when you lot come through passport control, I will have my rubber gloves ready.
The opportunity of a lifetime.
Alex, can I take this opportunity to plug my next campaign, please?
Yeah, sure, go.
Well, Kev no longer says how many.
Do you need anything? Do you need any rousing music behind it or anything?
No, not really.
Is he dead?
This is a very unflattering still of Bruce.
I like it. Last of the Summer Wine is playing for those in the.
Ladies
So
and
Bruce is
gentlemen,
dead. If you would like to join the pod, do let us know. And would be great to have you audition for the show.
that is the worst photo. It's the worst still.
The Tinkerboo Factory. He does look like one of the Tinkerboos. I'll tell you something. We really do need to find those outfits. Surely someone has the Tinkerboo mascot outfit.
It's been touring Cleethorpes recently.
Has it?
100%. I saw it on Facebook the other day.
Well, who's got them? We need them in. That's going to be, I think, Youngie, me and you, because there's two of them in there. I'll squeeze in. You get in the other one, and we'll be there geeing up. No, the images in my head have gone.
Honestly, they're as scary as the old Mini Mariner outfit.
I would love the old Mini Mariner outfit.
You Mini Mariner, mate.
What? What's going on? What's going on?
What? I was trying to make a joke. Didn't land.
What was the joke? Come on, Sam. Hang on.
You and a Mini Mariner, mate. Are you?
Oh no! Oh no, Sam!
Dear.
Oh no!
Is it a fat joke? That's fine. Now the fat joke's great. You just got to do it. Concentrate. We believe in you. Right, everybody be quiet. I'm going to mute my mic.
Oh, but yeah, it's like the slow torture. This. No, it wasn't. Yeah, edit this out.
Well, it's live.
Yeah, I mean, we need to move on. This is a dead area.
Let's move on. Yeah.
With Bruce is still alive. Bruce is still alive. He's trying to get back on again. He's
maybe his new campaign is so controversial. The club have cut his internet. Here he is, live from Cleethorpes.
Oh,
Sorry, the Russians tried to take down my campaign.
Apparently so, and they're doing it again. So quickly, tell us now before your internet gets chopped and you get, someone comes to try and admire your 123-meter spire.
I want something at the club, a stand preferably named after Alan Buckley while he is still alive. Not that there is anything wrong with Alan Buckley that I know of, but we shouldn't wait. We shouldn't wait. Yeah, he's gone down with Morrison's. We shouldn't wait
Clinton
for 20 years' time, 25 years' time. That man should have something at the club named after him now. Laurie McMenemy's got it. Alan Buckley, the Buckley Kurt pontoon stand for me. Anyway, yeah, that's my next campaign. I'm going to work on it.
What about the Osmond stand? Donny Osmond hasn't been at the town ground forever. He never talks about it. He's never involved. Why do we continue to have the stand named after him? So why can't we have it named after Alan Buckley?
Didn't they name something in the main stand after Alan Buckley?
Well, I don't know, but it's not.
I've never seen it, Hannah.
No, it's in the Finders, in one of the in the main boardroom now called the Buckley boardroom, isn't it?
I feel like I've read.
Well done, Bruce. Another campaign done.
Yeah, I'll tick that one off.
Surely we could do something about this with the Barry Conlon bar. Surely something's the Conlon Linwood bar in the main stand.
Yeah. Or the roof of the pontoon could be named after Adam Proudlock because it's above the bar.
It is. And all the light. Do we have that strip light that Menno Willems smashed in training in the warm up? Can we have that named after Menno Willems?
Could we have the pontoon stand being called the roof being called Linnell John Lewis because that's where most of his shots used to end up?
Oh,
yeah.
Sam.
Sam. Not Linnell. Not Lenny. Adam Proudlock. Yes, absolutely, all day long. But not Lenny.
Oh, Lenny. So he used to get slated and nailed when he was here, and I was the only one I was one of the few people who defended him. Now he's gone. Oh, Lenny, we love you.
Oh, didn't you think it was a bit funny, Mike, this week? Sort of now, Bim Pepple's been called up for the Canadian squad. Oh, I got ridiculed for talking about Bim Pepple.
And I got ridiculed for saying
ridiculed.
And people said, "Oh, Hursty never trusted young players." Like, right, there are a lot of legitimate things you can throw at Hursty. Not picking Bim Pepple is not one of them. Revisionism is so important in this.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, so thanks to Mike's scouting, Bim Pepple's been selected for the Canada squad.
I've heard that. I mean, it's great from Mike. He has once again his friends in football come to Bim Pepple's aid.
Don't question Mo that Bruce. He'll have some of the ancient WhatsApp message that he sent to somebody that will prove he's right.
Chris Billingham. Surely it's the John Lewis.
I've been caught out by that.
It's the Chris Billingham is saying. Surely it's the John Lewis Club Shop. What do we think, Bruce? Are you happy with that one?
That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah. I'm all over that.
Good. What do you? Who do you want to be named? What is it now? Is it the Inn of the Park or what is it? Or is it just the Trust Bar?
Well, the Inn on the Park was upstairs. That was McMenemy's, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? Well, I thought it was the one. What was the one on the ground then? Just the Trust Bar.
I don't think that's just they just call that the Trust Bar. But haven't the club taken the bars back now, or is that am I not right with that?
The only bar that is owned by the Trust now is the outside bar. Is the fan zone.
So
all the rest of them are the club now.
What can we name the Lower Findus Bar? That's the one, Bruce. Do you want that named after Alan Buckley, or do you want that
He's not the tallest. He's not the tallest, is he? So that would work if it's down below.
The lower bar should be named after Bruce for all the time he spent in there.
Exactly the same. He probably kept it going.
They could call it the second half. That'd be.
Well done.
That'd have more than one link, wouldn't it? I'll just have a. No, we don't drink halves.
The 2-0 down after 20 minutes.
I got absolutely ruined one day, and I thoroughly deserved it at half time at Rotherham at the Don Valley. A couple of town fans caught me ordering a half at half time. Got absolutely slaughtered.
Was that the one when we lost 4-1?
Oh yeah, we scored first. We scored first as well. I think Danny Boschel might have scored.
And we had to walk all the way around the end of the stadium. Is that like we can see you sneaking out?
Well, I think we went to the Don Valley twice. On one of the visits, one of our lot got down the front and ended up and they did the 100 metres on the running track.
The Gallimore Lower Bar.
Anyway, I've got my game ready.
Kevin Drinkall Bar.
I've got my pen ready. All pod for this, Bruce.
Oh, you don't need a pen. The pen was for Youngie's game, and he's not done it.
Oh,
yeah,
I dug out trying to find a pen that worked, and my notepad and pen. What a waste of time that was.
Oh well, you can do your own work. You can do your own work with it.
Here we go then. Let's do a thing.
Right, okay. I'm going to try and explain the rules clearly because I've had a few incidents in the past where I've been found guilty of not explaining things properly. This is what was suggested to me, I think by Youngie or Mike, after my game the other week. So I've gone into my programme pile from this day, or yesterday as it turns out, and I've found a programme from a season that you guys, I think, is peak for the age of the pod crew. I think this is a peak season for naming the squad. So This programme is Town against Eastleigh in the 2014-15 season on the 21st of March. What I'm going to do is you're going to give me one at a time. You're going to give me a player who was on the back of the programme, so who was in the town squad for that season. I'll move the order along so that the second round, the second person goes, and then so on and so forth, so that you all get a fair stab at the rounds and you're not always waiting till last. It will finish when nobody gives me a correct answer in one full sweep. If it doesn't, you don't go out. You'll get another guess in the next round, and we keep going. Everybody understand?
Is it just players?
Yeah, they're not going to ask for the referee. So.
No, I mean, you can tell me that O Turner was the match sponsor if you want, Sam. Right? Yeah. Or Stagecoach. If I'll give you half a point for Stagecoach. Right. My order that I've written down completely at random. So this is 2014-15 at the end of towards the end of the season. Hannah, you're down first.
Sorry, I totally didn't listen when you told me the game. I've absolutely failed.
Right, we'll see you at Christmas. I need a player who was in the whole complete town squad in the 14-15 season as of this point in the season. So the 21st of March, yesterday, in 2015, we played Eastleigh, and I want the name of somebody who was on the back of the programme in the full squad, not the match day squad, the full squad.
Do you think Appleby had the best buses?
2015. Arnold?
Nathan Arnold was in the squad number 20. So, right, Sam, you're next.
Linnell John Lewis.
Linnell John Lewis was in the squad. He was number 14. Yep. Alex.
James McEwen.
Number 1. James McEwen. Youngie.
Paul Bignett.
Bloody hell. Of all the players to pick, he was in the squad number 2. Right, Sam, you're first in the second round.
Craig Disley.
Craig Disley. Squad number, Sam?
8.
Correct. Alex.
Carl Magnay.
Carl Magnay. Squad number, can you remember anybody?
Probably 3.
6.
Oh, okay.
Youngie.
Ross Hannah.
Ross Hannah. Squad number, Sam?
22.
10.
10.
Hannah. Have you got the game now? Do you understand what's happening?
I do get the game. I'm struggling to think of a player. Was Pittman in it?
John Paul Pittman, number 18. Correct. Right, so this time we are Alex.
Craig Clay.
Craig Clay. I used to like Craig Clay. Thought he was a good player. Number 16. Yes, correct. Youngie.
I think he was with us at this point. Ollie Palmer.
Ollie Palmer. Correct. Number 33. Hannah.
Oh my god, it's just entered and left my head. What's his name? Oh my god, Parslow.
Danny Parslow. Yes, number 19. Good shout. After pretending you didn't know what was going on, you're going to clean up here. Sam.
Toto Unciala, number 22.
Toto. You don't get any extra points for that, but yes, well done. Right, I think we're down to you, Youngie, first, aren't we? Yes, that's correct. Yeah, this is going really smoothly. Something's going to go wrong in a minute. Right, yeah, Youngie.
Jack McCreth.
Jack McCreth, number 7. Yes, correct. Hannah.
He's just stolen mine.
There were 24 players in the squad. You've given me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You're doing well between you. 14.
Eastleigh, there was 24 players.
Yes.
Oh, you mean the away team as well?
Oh, have I not? I've tried. Youngie, I have explained this clearly, haven't I?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I understand.
Full squad from the back of the programme, which is players who aren't playing.
Okay.
God. Right. This is how it's going to go wrong because I won't have a clue what's going on now. Right. I'm back to, where are we? Youngie's gone, so it's Hannah. Hannah needs to give me a player. Thank you, Sam.
I am really struggling. Josh Gowling?
Josh Gowling is incorrect, but that doesn't matter. We roll on to Sam.
It's a bit embarrassing to not come up with him so far. Sean Pearson.
Sean Pearson, number 5. Correct, Sam. Right, that's the end of that round. So we're now back to Hannah to start again.
Oh, I thought I was out.
Is that right?
Yes. Sure.
Yes.
Was
Alex, I've only got you down for 3 points, though.
Okay. Do you want me to do another one?
Alex didn't go that round.
Right.
Did I?
Okay. So you guys are all on 4 and Hannah's on 3, and we're back to Hannah to start. Yes, that's right. Go.
was Richard Brodie that year?
No, he wasn't. Sam.
Oh,
I would say you.
Scott Brown.
Scott Brown is good shout, Sam. Correct. Well done. Yeah, Alex.
Christian Jolly.
Christian Jolly. Yeah, well done. That's very impressive. And nobody's tried to give me something that somebody's already said, which means you're actually listening now a bit. Youngie. I think you're getting. I think there's only a couple. I would say that you're nearly getting a bit niche. If anybody gets any of the next beyond the next 2 or 3, I'm going to be questioning Google that you've been dodgy. Youngie.
I'm not sure if it's this season or the previous season. Joe Colbeck.
No, Joe Colbeck.
No.
Right, Sam, you to go first this round.
Gregor Robertson.
Yes, good shout, Sam. Well done. Number 35 in that season. Alex.
Kane Wayne Farah.
I'm starting to question your Googling, Alex. I'm going to watch your next answer.
I'll share my screen.
You come out with random stuff
How
sometimes.
is Kane Wayne Farah? Who's one of the
Youngie.
players?
Well, if he's going Kane Wyn Farah, I'm going to go for Paul Walker.
What? Oh, hang on a minute. This is
Whoa.
what?
Yeah.
Number. Don't tell me you know his squad number as well, right? Hannah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get. It's getting hard now. It's getting very hard now. I'll be amazed if we get through this round. If we get through this round, Alex is cheating. Go on.
There's a lucky
Max
woman.
Wright. I ain't got a clue.
No, not Max Wright. So that was Hannah. That was the end of that round. Alex.
Ellis Humble.
I'm not having this. I'm not having. If you're cheating again, Youngie.
What do you
Dale
mean again?
Southwell.
Dale Southwell. No, unfortunately not. Hannah.
I don't know. Andy Cook. I ain't got a clue.
All right. Okay. Sam.
Patrick McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Yes, Sam. Well done. Right. I think it's Youngie to go first. Youngie. There are 3 to get.
I'm trying to think who I'm trying to think who the subkeeper might have been that year. Was it Sam Russell at that point?
No. Hannah. You don't know, do you? You're
Well,
have a shout.
I just had a thought. Sean McAllister.
No.
Oh.
Sam.
Nick Draper.
What?
The
Sam.
reserve keeper. It was Youngie saying.
Yeah, I set you up. I set you up for that. Yeah.
Right. Here we go then. Right. Let's see if Google's doing its thing. Alex.
Patrick McLaughlin.
No, he's already gone.
Oh,
Youngie.
Oh, I really don't know now.
Who to get? No. Right. Okay. Has anyone got right? So let's do it properly. Hannah. Right. One last sweep. Hannah. No.
Rob Eagle.
No. Sam.
I'm sure. I'm proud. I think I could think of one if I try hard enough here, but in the time frame you're giving us, no pass.
Alex.
Bastock, goalkeeper. Callum.
No. Youngie.
Did Harry Clifton have a number by that point?
No, he didn't. Congratulations to Sam, who takes the honours with 8. Alex seconding with 7. Youngie has 5, and Hannah got 3. You did really well. You only missed 2 players. Chris Doig.
Yeah, because he started that season's play. He played on the first day of the season that year at Bristol Rovers.
And Hamish Watson.
The lesser known New Zealand international. Yeah.
But you did collectively, you did really well. There was a tiebreaker. Town won 2-1. They beat Eastleigh 2-1. There was a tiebreaker, which was what was the attendance, and it was 4,034. Well done, everybody.
Well, I thought you were going to go with Bruce. Which player played for both teams that season?
No,
because it was
There wasn't one.
Harry Pell is in the How do you know that, Alex?
Harry Pell played for us that year and then left and then went to Eastleigh.
Oh, did he now?
There was
Okay,
loads of
yeah.
complaining about, Eastleigh have got the money and little old Grimsby don't.
Lee Peacock was with them by this point.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was Lee Peacock still playing?
As a player?
He was Lee Peacock, experienced frontman, a former Mariners captain for Neil Woods, it says here. But yeah, well done, everybody. Congratulations.
Harry Pell's one of those players like Ollie Palmer, actually, to be fair, and Andy Cook since he came back, who you'd forgotten had played for us. He'd become such a villain in the kind of interim period.
I need to take those quizzes because if I'm doing it for you guys, I would have got like 1 or 2. So I
bet you'd go back to the old days, Bruce, when there were no squad numbers and you played with 1 to 11. You'd be able to name the side.
Oh yeah, I could.
Sheffield United in 1995 or something.
Yeah, I could. But you guys, it's your prime supporting period. When you were sort of 15 or 16. Well, not with that lot. You weren't. But
I was born.
Yeah, I think we're gonna take this back to sort of 2005-ish. That I reckon that's fairly fair on most people. But we'll see how it goes.
A bit offensive to Alex and you. He said that was their prime. Mine and Hannah's maybe.
No, I was definitely 15, 16 around that period.
Yeah, same.
That is correct.
What's the Millennium Bug?
Yeah. Well done, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. We hope you enjoyed it. I don't know whether or not we'll do one next week with everybody on international break. But thank you all for joining us. See you all later. Bye.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy.
This antiquated main stand, I can feel it vibrating.
Say, they got a penalty here with the fish flying about that. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! This is Vernon! Vernon scores! The supporters are invading the pitch because Grimsby Town have caused one of the biggest upsets in their history.
Love it.